Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. D.V. Prasad from Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak. Today we will discuss about the module Aim and Scope of Social Anthropology from paper Social Cultural Anthropology. Let us see what we are going to study in this module. You shall be able to get an informative background of the social cultural anthropology, which is a major and very important of anthropology. You will also learn the basic introductory background about socio-cultural anthropology and its historical background, aim and objectives. This module also provides knowledge about the entire subject matter of the socio-cultural anthropology as well as its different sub-branches. Adding to this, the module also attempts to describe the scope and application of socio-cultural anthropology in various fields. This module also have objective of to give a basic understanding to the students about the socio-cultural anthropology, its history, origin, elements and subject matter. It also attempts to provide an informative background about the aims and application of socio-cultural anthropology. An introduction to socio-cultural anthropology. Anthropology is a social science which studies mankind in its entirety. The word anthropology is derived from two Greek root words, that is anthropos, the Greek term for human, and logos, the Greek term for word. Now it is used to refer to a field of study. As its very name indicate, anthropology is the scholarly discipline that studies humans in a very real sense. Anything about humans can be studied from anthropological perspective. In practice, most anthropologists focus on just one or few aspects of what it means to be human, but they also integrate other perspectives into their work. They may make use of cultural, archaeological, linguistic, or biological data, and they also draw upon insights from other disciplines because they strive to take all relevant data into consideration. Anthropologists tend to work from an interdisciplinary, holistic, and integrative perspective. As we shall see, this broad approach is very useful for considering one of humankind's most unique trait, religiosity, our capacity for religious thought and spiritual experience. In a more specific terms, anthropology is a science which investigates the strategies for living that are learned and shared by people as members of human social groups. It examines the characteristics that human beings share as members of one species, that is Homo sapiens, and the diverse ways that people live in different environments and analyze the products of social groups. Material objects, that is tools, clothes, houses, etc., and non-material creations like beliefs, values, practices, and institutions, etc. With this holistic perspective, anthropology intersects with multiple approaches to study who of humankind as biological, social, cultural, historical, linguistic, cognitive, material, technological, affective, and aesthetic. This interdisciplinary is integrated with an anthropology as a whole and formalized in the four major fields that compose the discipline. They are archaeological, biological, linguistic, and sociocultural anthropology. Although many anthropologists conduct research across these fields. Meaning and definition of social cultural anthropology. A single sentence definition of social anthropology is of doubtful utility. Social anthropology addresses the big questions of what is to be human by studying the amazingly diverse ways in which people in all parts of the world make a living, organize themselves, make families and communities, and think about the world around them and how to live a good life. According to Evans Pritchard, social anthropology includes the study of all human cultures and societies. Basic idea is that it tries to find out the structure of human societies all over the world. What social anthropology seeks to establish is that all societies, notwithstanding any country, are an organized whole. It is not just the separate customs or beliefs that are different, but the whole pattern of working, living, marrying, worshipping, organizing politically, keeping order, and so on. Everything is different from the way we do things because the structure, the plan, and the ideas behind them are different. It is here that social anthropology, on one hand, accounts for the social and cultural variations among the different tribal groups, but on the other hand, it also conceptualizes the similarities found between tribal social systems and human relationships. As a matter of fact, when we try to understand the tribal economy as a particular group, for example, Gond tribe, we try to find out how this economy is connected with other aspects of the Gond society, for example, marriage, kinship, folklore. Evans Pritchard further adds by comparing social anthropology with the sociology that it is a general body of theory to primitive social life which constitute the subject of social anthropology. In other words, social anthropology studies number one, primitive societies, number two, generates data by doing field work. John Lewis has defined social anthropology in a very conservative style. According to him, social anthropology is a comparative discipline of the study of social institutions. However, despite limiting the field of social anthropology to the study of primitive communities, Lewis suggests for establishing a pattern of indigenous society. Erikson, on the other hand, puts emphasis on the study of small places in social anthropology. He argues that social anthropology intensively is concerned with the small places, but these small places related to larger issues. Anthropology, being a large and diversified subject, is practiced somewhat differently in different countries, although it retains its distinctive character everywhere. A.L. Kroeber, in his celebrated work on anthropology, published in the 40s, divides anthropology broadly into two divisions: physical anthropology and socio-cultural anthropology. At a later stage, the socio-cultural anthropology got split into cultural anthropology and social anthropology. Even today, this split is not readily accepted all over the world. By elaborating the anthropological traditions at the regional level in each country and continent, we would identify a number of variations. According to Piddington, social anthropologists study cultures of contemporary primitive communities. This definition of social anthropology is a bit narrow because anthropology does not only
study primitive cultures but studies contemporary cultures also. Charles Winnick has opined that social anthropology is the study of social behavior, especially from the point of view of the systematic comparative study of social forms and institutions. S.C. Dubé defined social anthropology as that part of cultural anthropology which devotes its primary attention to the study of social structure and religion rather than material aspects of culture. It is clear that social anthropology studies the different aspects of social structure such as social institutions, social relations, and social events. Historical background. Social anthropology, as we find it in India, South Africa, and elsewhere outside the US, originate from England. Evans Pritchard has elaborated the origin and development of social anthropology in England. He says that subject was taught at Oxford since 1885 under the name of anthropology, ethnology. It was started at Cambridge and in London in 1900 and 1908 respectively. But the first university chair which bore the title of social anthropology was started in 1908. Sir James Fraser was the honorary professor at Liverpool in 1908. Since then, the subject has received wider recognition and it now taught under the name of social anthropology in Great Britain. But it is argued that historically early anthropology started sometime during the 18th century. According to some historians, the origin of social anthropology is traced to David Hume and Immanuel Kant, who are the first philosophers to define social anthropology. Hume was a British empiricist who argued that experience was the only trustworthy source of valid knowledge. Kant contrasted the empirical research to social anthropology as given by Hume. He argued that people had certain shared innate faculties which were assumed to be embedded in their mode of thought. The 19th century social anthropologists were greatly influenced by the findings of Darwin and his associates. The definition of social anthropology given by social Darwinists is a landmark in the development of this discipline. The foundations of present anthropology go back to Henry Main's Ancient Law and Lewis Henry Morgan's book, including Ancient Society. Both of these authors developed theories of primitive society which were to wield influence far into the 20th century. The theory expounded by Morgan was one. There were other theories too. For instance, Westermarck set out of the theory of human marriage. Briffault propounded the theory of family. What we intended to conclude here is that there was a team of evolutionists which established theories of culture, including religion and other fields of social anthropology. These evolutionists include W.H.R. Rivers, Taylor, Fraser, William James, A.C. Haddon, and Charles Seligman. All these early social anthropologists defined social anthropology as a science of social evolution. In other words, social anthropology studies the origin and evolution of social institutions such as society, religion, marriage, kinship, and so on. Franz Boas and Malinowski are often regarded as the first modern anthropologists. Boas belonged to Germany, but he came to US in 1880 to study the American Indians. He conducted field research by himself and founded modern American cultural anthropology. According to Malinowski, functionalism is the most important approach of culture growth. Aims of social anthropology. The primary aim of social anthropology is to gather information about human nature. Human nature is a controversial subject. Different scholars have laid emphasis upon different aspects of human nature. Primitive man and society present human nature in its most rudimentary raw form. Therefore, their study is useful for the understanding of the basic essentials of human nature without much influence of culture upon them. Another aim of anthropology is the study of the process and results of cultural contacts. Most of the primitive societies are gradually coming in contact of more developed cultures. This contact is gradually creating social, religious, economic, and political problems and disorganization. The administrators and the social planners require the help of social anthropologists in understanding of processes and consequences of cultural contacts. According to the Royal Anthropological Society of Great Britain and Ireland, the most important aims of social anthropology are the following. Number one, the study of primitive culture in its present form. Number two, the study of cultural contact and specific purposes. This includes the exploration of the influences of outer groups creating cultural changes. Number three, reconstruction of social history. Number four, search for universally valid social laws. Thus, the chief aim of social anthropology is to study human society, social institutions, culture, and kinship bonds in their most elementary form. Besides being useful for the understanding of the present day human societies, it aids to our knowledge of human history as well as the nature of social institutions. It is hence that social anthropology is closely related to history and archaeology. The above aims of social anthropology are particularly evident in the utilization of functional method in its study. According to Malinowski, in the functional method, we try to discover those human needs which maintain his biopsychic existence and finally his higher intellectual survival. The functional method also helps us in finding out ways and means for the fulfillment of these needs. As Ratley Brown has aptly pointed out, culture is an integrated system. It serves certain functions with reference to human societies. It aims at discovery of the general principles required for the explanation of cultural phenomena. It is clear that discovery of the functions of social institutions, needs, and culture, etc., in primitive societies. It will provide a solid foundation for the understanding of developed societies and culture. For example, it has been discovered that components of culture act separately as well as together. All this has been useful in the understanding of present day societies. They will protect them and keep them free from disease. In political fields also, administration is mostly in the hands of females. This is, however, does not mean that the status of males is pitiable in any sense. On the other hand, they are respected and their desires are fulfilled. Divorce requires mutual consent and both are free in their personal affairs. Scope of social anthropology. The general understanding of social anthropology is that it tries to study human societies all over the world. This meets the objective of studying the society. Secondly, by employing the comparative method, social anthropology finds similarities and differences in diverse societies. Identification of these similarities helps us construct universal anthropological theories which will enable us understand the human society. This objective of social anthropology becomes all the more relevant in the context of the accelerating process of localizing and globalization. In any projection, towards the building of a world society, social anthropology has enough to contribute. At this stage of discussing the scope of social anthropology, we must address one question to ourselves. If we accept that social anthropology, notwithstanding India, European continent or the United States, studies the primitive people, and if these primitive peoples become extinct from the social map of the world in the context of all embracing changes, what would anthropological study? In other words, if there are no tribals in India, what would social anthropologists do? Whom will they study? The question is relevant and is very much concerned with the scope and subject matter of social anthropology today. Let us take the problem of the scope of social anthropology as is addressed to us. What has become of the people first explored by anthropologists during colonialism? Nearly all of them are, to varying degrees, integrated into the wider economic, cultural, and political systems. It is reported that the Trobriand Islanders, whom Malinowski studied in the first quarter of the 20th century, have now adapted themselves to the process of modernization on their own terms. Modernization has led to changes in political organization, in the economy, and in the politics of identity. But both the kinship system and the system of ceremonial exchange still function, even if they do not have the same meaning as before. In India, the Toda, Gond, Khasi, and Bhil tribes have embraced new political and economic systems unleashed by the national government. It appears that tribals today are not the same as they were 50 years back. The situation is very complex and we have to examine the scope of social anthropology in this new context. Admittedly, social anthropology cannot be sold in the academic market where it is not relevant in understanding the reality of the society. It is also in the interest of social anthropology that it does not remain only a veiled discipline, closing its eyes to the society's demands and expectations. At the outset, we would like to observe that the subject matter and scope of social anthropology have never been conservative, not will to change, quite static and sterile. It has always been changing. Social anthropology is concerned with culture per se, whether it belongs to the primitive man of the Stone Age or the European city dwellers of today. It includes a study of different parts of culture, social institutions, economic and political administration. Its wider scope can be illustrated more by describing its branches, such as number 1, ethnography, number 2, familial anthropology, number 3, economic anthropology, number 4, political anthropology, number 5, symbology and linguistics, number 6, thought and art. Let us go by each one in detail. First of all, ethnography. Ethnography is the main field of anthropology. It is regarded as the descriptive study of cultural group or community. Its scope also includes the study of cultures of different races and it aims at combining all the elements of a community life. When it comes to second one, familial anthropology. Family is the basic institution of society. Social anthropology, therefore, studies the family also. It takes up a comparative study of the families of different cultures and societies and it covers different forms of family along with progress. Comes to the third, economic anthropology. Economic rules play an important part in social organization. Some radical changes take place in social structure along with a change in economic administration. Social anthropology, therefore, minutely studies the economic administration of primitive and civilized human societies and of different levels of evolution in them. When come to political anthropology has also an important place in social structure along with economic administration. Social anthropology, therefore, studies all types of political administration, laws, governments, and rules of punishment, etc. This branch of social anthropology is known as political anthropology. Comes to symbology and linguistics. The study of different symbols of human behavior which are current in language of different societies supplies many important facts for the study of society. Social anthropology, therefore, studies all these also. Thus, we whole linguistic field falls within this branch of social anthropology. Final one, thought and art. The study of thoughts in theoretical study is very important. Thought includes religion, magic, science, and even legends. Social anthropology is a comparative study of all these things in ancient human societies. Art is an important part of culture, and culture depicts the interior of a society. Social anthropology studies sculptures, metallurgy, and even dancing and instrumental of vocal music.
So, students, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. We studied about basic understanding of the concept of social cultural anthropology. In this, we have gone through the various definitions given by the anthropologists like Evans Pritchard, John Lewis, and Erikson. Besides this meaning of social cultural anthropology, we also dealt its history, origin, scope, and aims. It also provides an informative background about aims and applications of social cultural anthropology. You all must remember that anthropology is a social science which studies mankind in its entirety with its holistic perspective. You all know economics deal with the economic aspect only. Political science deal with political aspects. Like geography, geographical aspects. So every branch, every discipline will deal a particular aspect of human beings. Whereas anthropology, with the holistic perspective, we cover all aspects of human being, which includes physical, cultural, religious, art, religion, everything. That is why anthropology intersects with multiple approaches to study of humankind. It includes biological, social, cultural, historical, linguistics, cognitive, material, technological, affective, and aesthetic. This interdisciplinary is integrated with anthropology as a whole. Thus, social cultural anthropology, being an important branch of anthropology, is concerned with the social cultural dimensions of the living peoples and with the description and analysis of people's lives and traditions. Socio-cultural anthropology studies the social, symbolic, or non-material or material lives of contemporary and historically recent human societies. Talking the concept of culture central to its goal. Now, the scope of anthropology is increasing day by day. So, we can say that the even scope of anthropology extended to different sub branches. For example, ethnography, familial anthropology, economic anthropology, political anthropology, symbology and linguistics, thought and art. When it comes to ethnography, ethnography is a systematic study of a particular culture. It is a description about a group, a caste, a tribe. So, in most of the foreign countries, Western societies, cultural anthropology, socio-cultural anthropology, also known as ethnography, ethnographic studies. In familial anthropology, they use it to study family, kinship, and other aspects. Then comes to economic anthropology. Economic anthropology also developed into business anthropology. Now, the people, the anthropologists are concentrated on the economy of simple societies, since it is being neglected by the grand economic theories. That is why we have to see the system of production, distribution and redistribution among the primitive societies by taking the examples of abroad as well as in India. Political anthropology, we have the political systems of developed society and complex society. Still, there is a vast areas of political authority in tribal and simple society. It has to be covered with a great length. Symbology, linguistics, there are so many dialects. So far, the language part is not prepared. So, by using symbols, we can make the standardization of the tribal dialects, and thought and art has to be deal with the separate branch that is known as tribal art. Thank you.